Everyone, Corrie here, coming in to do my monthly channel messages. And yes, we are into the 8th, and I'm still trying to get these done, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I am working on Sagittarius right now. And so this message that I'm bringing through is for, I'm trying to get the remaining done today. If you're not feeling the pressure, there is so much pressure in the energy in the air. I feel as if there is like I actually have my first migraine I've had in a long time, because it feels like my head is just going to explode. And I'm like, it's this energy that just feels like, it's like 1 minute you may be like just doing well, and next minute you're like, and I'm like, it's almost like, please don't try to take the emotions or the experiences personally. Sometimes we have to just allow them to just go through, just don't give them a story larger than they need to be, and to just let it flow, let it flow, let it go, like just let it go through you. And then you can kind of be able to distinguish what is real for you. And when we look at truths, the only real truth is the one that we tell ourselves, and they're only called personal truths. It doesn't mean that they're all real truths. It means what we're personally telling ourselves that feeds the narrative that we want to believe, right? And so when we allow ourselves to exist in our own blindness, our unwillingness to look at, we marginalize, like we narrow down, and we create these stories that are that are this big, right? And then, but we turn it in within ourselves. It's able to trigger the fear, the anger, the hurts, and then we have a whole narrative and a whole story, and we can carry it further than it needs to go. And so that's really active and alive out there in the world right now, and in the energy. And it's almost like it's a constant divide. And I did a channel message today, and the channel message really truly came from a place of that holy realm, just that sense of, and I know when it does, because it's so hard for me to stay looking up. I always know when I'm channeling through the holy realm, it's almost like I have to keep telling myself, you're worthy to communicate this. You're worthy to communicate this. And it speaks a lot about love. And it speaks a lot about, not hiding who we are, not being afraid of who we are, but being able to look beyond everything that we're seeing, reading, hearing, and look beyond everything. There is a human. Beyond everything, there's a love. Like, what is that? But what is the power? What is the energy that's behind everything? And words have the power to be able to create, divide, or build bridges. And what do we want most? And so for you, Sagittarius, this is also coming up to be able to build a bridge. So for you, this month is truly about your connection from your heart to your higher self. Not your heart down to the lower self, not your heart down to the emotions, down to the energy centers that are tied to the emotions, but from the heart and that rainbow bridge into higher self. Being able to connect to your higher self, taking the high road, taking that high ground. And sometimes, some things are not worth the energy of you giving too much energy to something that is just a passing. Like, there's so many things that are just passing, let it pass. But I do have this sense of, like, sometimes, being that sense of wanting to be kind, wanting to be caring, wanting to be compassionate, is that you also can be very harsh on your own self, and being very harsh within your own existence and in your own world. And so that whole sense and that whole push and desire to always kind of trying to, I just want to be me. I just want to be me. Well, no one, I just want to say, it's like, no one's telling you not to be. It's what you tell yourself sometimes. So it's that essence of, what am I telling myself? What am I existing in? What emotions are ruling my world? And what is rocking my world right now that is saying, I need to come back into me and look deeper into me. And what is it that I truly, really am connecting to? And pull in your higher self, pull in the higher self that's here for, pull in the higher self, pull in where the soul would have been the teacher, pull in where the soul would have been the healer, the nurse, the doctor, like whatever soul journey that soul would have been on previously, and ask for guidance from that, and to be there. And when I look at the energy of Sagittarius, I'm like, there just feels like it's a well blended month of good and a well blended month of challenges. And so, but it's also what it's there is there to help teach us of not pushing, not forcing, but just knowing that everything runs in divine timing. And so allowing divine timing to unfold. And so I feel like see this higher, I just feel like there's this portal energy that's coming through. And this portal energy, and it's like through that time machine, it's like we can walk back to the past and discover where and how we were trapped in emotions, but we can also travel through into the future, being able to transcend the stories, be able to transcend whatever is happening, to bring in love. And so that was, one of my biggest messages today is that sense of bringing in love and existing in love, and the greater powers of being, which is not a force, is more powerful than all. And I just feel like magic is in the air, and as much as there is challenges in the air, there's also magic in the air. I feel like there's this strong sense of happy and sad that's blended, but I have this close encounters that's also coming out, like almost like feeling like something like almost feels like you've almost got caught or trapped in some of this energy, being kind of sideswiped by it. But you've recognized it, you're seeing from past experiences on what is real, what is not for you. And sometimes that's really hard, right? Sometimes that's a really, really hard story. And sometimes we have to accept our own truths, and knowing this is where I would say emotional maturity comes in. We can accept the truth that aligns to us for now, knowing that we can always change our mind, right? It's like, I can change my mind. It doesn't mean this is forever. Doesn't mean this is what I'll believe a year down the road. But for right now, this is what sits with me well. This is where I am. And this is connecting. So there is this essence of blossoming and blooming of the future that's coming through and shining through. And there is this energy of hope that is coming in for you. So through this sense of hope, I feel like there's an opportunity for change, an opportunity for growth, something that's just saying it's like, kind of like stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Don't feel the need to cross over or to cross into something else. Time is on your side. Like when they say, oh, you're running out of time. No, you're not running out of time. Time is very much on your side, and you do have the time that is needed to give yourself the opportunity to fully allow the wings to come out, allow for transformation to happen before you make any big rash decisions, that you got time to contemplate, to think, and that the universal laws, the universal energy that's out there is the one that will be contributing to you shining in your own right, in your own light, in your own way. I don't know why. I just got somebody having to buy a new stove. like I'm just like, you're standing in the kitchen and you're cooking something and the stove goes. I don't know where that come from, but I just feel like someone's going to have to either, like buy a new stove. Like, oh shit, how come this stove went now? Or this is just don't say this is just my luck. Say thank you, because the reason why it's going is so that it's saving a house fire, right? So it could be saving you from having electrical fire or something like that. But it's like the stove goes and it's right in the midst of cooking. And it's like, instead of complaining about stove, just, cook it in the microwave or go out for dinner. Just walk away and just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and walk away. I am picking up father energy in here. So, I mean, ultimately, yes, there's going to be people with Sagittarius who are fathers in here, but this feels like father energy of an elder. So this also feels like either having to care for or take care of some elderlies, or to help out the elderly. So this could be coming in a way of being present, but I also have a father figure that is like almost like has dementia or Alzheimer's, not quite on the other side, but almost, or like on his way. He's telling me he's on his way. So that's a very specific part of the message, but it's coming in the energy of Sagittarius. And I just feel like I'm about to leave, just to let you know, like I'm that much closer. And he's very matter of fact about this. So I don't know who in the Sagittarius energy that relates to, or he could be Sagittarius, but and I just feel like you're being very much told, like, don't try to be something you're not. Be you, be true to you. And just know that the world has like many, many possibilities coming for you, many opportunities. I'm like, just make sure your motives are clear, that you're not manipulating yourself or you're not getting caught. Know that you can change your truth. Know that things can change. There is changes that are coming, but there's this beautiful energy that just says, you know what, you will be met with challenges just like everyone is. You will have to face them just like everyone else. But it's like there's what does come, say thank you, because what is meant for you is in the stars. There's some fated experiences that are unfolding that are in the stars or in the plans for you, and for you to be able to honor that and step into that. Animal spirit is very, very large. I have a very large animal. I feel like I have like he's an elephant. It's masculine too. He's an elephant, but he's dressed. But he's dressed almost like he's in ceremony. I think this is Ganesh. This is an elephant walking forward and bringing in Ganesh energy. So if you're tied to the Ganesh in any way, really truly explore that a little bit further right now, coming in for whatever this phase in time is for you. Interesting. So I pulled 3 from the archetype cards that are coming up. And I never pull these in any readings, like any of these kind of energy readings, but something told me to. And I got the Avenger, and it's in the upright, and it's the light attributes. Desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. And this is an archetype role that you're always seen to be playing. And it's like, it's like you're always trying to be that do-gooder, always trying to make sure everybody is treated equally, always trying to make sure all of this. But this can also take you to that aspects of the shadow self. And, it's that, and not to become the shadow of it. But I just feel like sometimes that causes deep frustration because, this is where your personal truth comes in. And so being aware of the righteousness of being so caught up in what is right and what is wrong, and paying attention to that, because, that Avenger energy is, you want to play that. And then we also have coming in with that is the beggar. And it's in up front. And this one confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival. Awaken the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. So there's a level of like awakening that's coming in. I always say it's like, it's like, it's not to be begging for that sense of self, whatever is missing there. It's like, it's almost like trying to prove your strength or your pull, trying to work the forces, like you're trying to carry something. And then I got the athlete, which is in this fucking fake background, but my bed is there and it's getting dark, so it's really standoutish. Not my bed. It's just my right. It's the day bed. But the athlete is in reverse, and so in reverse, it is telling us that this is the shadow of self of where we are, and it is misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability, and entitlement. So sometimes our shadow self can tell us a lot of stories about, entitlement, and, I'm stronger than you think. So there's like an act, something of an act, secretly like begging, almost like negotiating off like for something to be in your life, and the Avengers. And it's like, you got to drop the Avengers game. It's like, you don't have to be that energy, and being able to move beyond that and to trust that it's okay to change character roles. Who do I need to be? Because this, who do I need to be for this new journey that I'm taking, where I'm going next? Then you got the thief. You've had some major life in past lives. Like these archetypal roles and these characters that you play in your stories are quite interesting. You're very good at very good at your make-believe world, at your shadow world somehow. It's like you can really convince yourself that it's real. The Thief sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And this is what I was talking about. What is in the stars for you will always be there. You don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to become. And this is like, it's like what I got right here. Would you like to have it? And that's what your soul is kind of saying to you. It's like, you know, everything you need is here, but you got to stop you got to stop doing the things that you're doing to it. Like everything that we have is right here. And so this is showing you, like in shadow self, it would be like taking from, but in light, it's like almost like you're trying to hide the things that you have away, afraid somebody else is going to steal it from you. So there's a lot of secretness around you. You do things secretly. It's almost like you sneak around to do things that then makes it appear to be sometimes as if it's like, where did that just come from? How come we didn't know about that? And so that's like afraid of somebody taking your ideas, afraid of somebody else. It's so that then appears, but it's that sense of I'm going to make myself, you know, as valuable as everyone else. And so there's just a lot of games that are playing out from the emotional self. And like I said from the beginning, you're here this month to cross the bridge, to go from heart to higher self, not heart back down into the emotions, not back down there in the swamp. Don't get down in the swamp. It's about you staying up here. It's about you rising up here, being guided by your higher self that knows the truth beyond the stories that we tell ourselves sometimes, and about you being able to, you know, embrace the journey that is unfolding for you, because there's a lot of beautiful things that are happening around you. A lot. And of course, I didn't read the whole cards because I'm just using them as a guide through this. And then the other deck that I'm using is Call It Baron Reed, 7 energy centers. I would pull from my own, but I don't see my own cards here right now. Exposed and revealed. See, so many things this month are about being exposed and revealed. So our own shadow work, exposing us to our own bullshit, our own stories, so that we can start to see beyond. This makes sense. This is my message from this morning, is that when you can see beyond with your eyes wide open, then you're truly allowing yourself to truly see from the eyes of God, from the eyes of that Christ-like energy, that you don't create a story. You can see the good beyond, you can see the why beyond, you can see all aspects. It don't mean you have to agree with it. It don't mean you have to believe with everything, but it's just saying, I understand this and I understand this. I see why, I see all of those things, but it doesn't mean that it aligns to my truth or what I'm thinking, but I get it. I understand it. I have compassion for it. And that's where we all begin. And so this third eye energy is like because your eyes have told you many stories that you've believed. And it's like in here sleeping is that sense of self. It's just like the panther energy. The panther will sleep and wait for you to call it out. Instead, it's not going to come out stalking the things that you need. It's just going to go sleep. Because if you don't ask, it's like your guardians. If you don't ask for guidance and help, and you're going to think that you can do it all on your own, and you got what it takes to do it all on your own, then you'll always be with the sleep. You'll always be with the sleeping. You'll never be with the awaken. And so as much as you try to be with the awaken, you won't, because you'll always be challenging or trying to be greater than or trying to prove something. Whereas in the beyond story and seeing beyond, you're allowing yourself to see with your eyes wide open, to see from the third eye, to allow yourself to come in. I don't know why I got Ganesh and lots of star energy around you. And I just feel like it's like truly like no more being at war with yourself. There's all kinds of little flies. I'm like, what the fuck? There's all kinds of like, this is the time to make peace with yourself, to make peace with the stories, to be able to truly start to be able to engage in climbing above that. Because what is fated for yours, what is yours can't be taken away. You don't have to hide. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to be sneaky. You don't have to do any of those things. It's okay to be out, to be open, to be real, to be honest, to be authentic with yourself, and to be in that sense of truth. And it's a sense of liberation that's also coming up for you. So I feel like that comes into jobs, to opportunities, whatever it may be, that may be arising for you. And to not be afraid to just let your light shine, because it is the blossoming. And by that, I mean, let it shine inward and outward, right? But inward too, so that you can really truly be honest with yourself and look deep, and to just clean out some of this energy. But there's beautiful opportunities. There is, just like you're just being prepared just for your opportunities. Much love, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your month. Bye-bye.